AOC put out a question on her Instagram stories for her own constituents to answer about how they voted because her district, a lot of them voted for Trump and then voted for her. AOC lives in a heavily Latino district. 52% of her district is Hispanic. And people in the media and the Republicans are always saying that AOC is such a far leftist. So, I think it's interesting that she was asking people, like, why did you vote for Trump and then me? Like, it seems so opposite. And the responses were fascinating. People who support both Trump and me or voted Trump Dem tell us why. She wasn't the choice of the people, no primary, couldn't interview, no clear policies. I voted for Trump and then Dems because he reached out to Muslims. Oh, who could have predicted that? I voted all Dem, but damn, you guys make it so hard. I think I identify more with you and Bernie. Oh, look, because of Gaza. It's real simple. Trump and you care for the working class. Well, Trump doesn't, but that's besides the point right now. Trump is going to get us the money and let men have a voice. You're brilliant, have amazing passion. Yeah, sure, but let's just keep pretending that Democrats aren't alienating men. We can just keep pretending that. But want it changed, so I went with Trump and blew for the rest of the ballot to put some brakes. I feel like you and Trump are both real. Voted for Trump, but I like you and Bernie. I don't trust either party establishment. Action and progress or stagnation and excuses. Both of you push the boundaries and force growth. I feel that both of you are outsiders compared to the rest of the DC establishment. I know people who did this and it was because of Gaza. I supported you and did this. I felt like I didn't have a choice after Biden's administration. Voted for Trump and you, not genocide Harris. Dems need Bernie. He speaks of war as something that is bad. Democrats became the party that supports war. But you also signified change. Trump signified change. I've said lately, Trump sounds more like you. And it goes on and on and on. Trump isn't really an outsider. Trump isn't really a populist. Trump doesn't give a fuck about the working class, but he appears to. People think he is. He's good at lying about it. And you see the responses. And this is shit that we have been saying, but you didn't want to listen. Genuinely, I'm not surprised by these answers because some of us were telling you that Gaza was going to cost her. Some of us were telling you that running to the right on every policy and running toward the establishment and the business community wasn't going to help. So many people who were Democratic voters love Bernie and loved what Bernie stood for. But again, as I've talked about a lot and I've talked about since, that was never going to happen, and it's not going to happen because what Bernie Sanders represented, the Democratic Party, the institution of the party, rejected it, doesn't want it, is fundamentally opposed to what Bernie Sanders stood for. And that is why I say again, they cannot be reformed because they don't like Bernie Sanders. They don't like what Bernie Sanders stands for, and they never did. That is why all this talk you're seeing right now from politicians and Democratic pundits and analysts and all this shit being like, those are the ones that are even reflecting, because a lot aren't reflecting. They really aren't. They're like, no, this is actually, we're victims. This wasn't our fault. But the ones who actually are saying, we need to have an autopsy, we need to reflect, they're full of shit. They are so fucking full of shit. They are not unaware of this dynamic. I saw Chris Murphy do this long thread being like, we really need to reflect on what happened. We know what happened. And they know what happened. They're full of shit when they say that they want to reflect, that they want to reform, that they want to, question how things can be different and how this got this way. They know exactly how it got this way. This was a choice. This was a choice of the Democratic Party to run to the right and run to their corporate donors instead of doing anything to represent the people. So I would like for you to not believe any of their bullshit, please. When you see them, oh, we're really doing some self-reflection and looking at where, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're fucking lying. Don't believe them. They're full of shit. It's getting on my nerves so much seeing them play this fucking game as if they actually give a shit or as if they actually didn't already know this before the election, as if they didn't know it in 2020, as if they didn't know it in 2016. But you know what? I think we should just listen to what the Democratic pundits that are coping really hard on MSNBC and CNN and Twitter and all the other people that don't want to take responsibility for this fucking epic loss. They're sitting around just saying, no. The reason why this happened is because she's a black woman. Okay. Ignore all of this data from AOC's district and districts all around the country and just say she lost because she's a black woman. Keep coping and keep losing.